Show. It's the Real Chat Daddy Show. It's the Real Chat Daddy Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show. Say good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Monday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Glad to be back with you guys on the third Monday of April 2022, and we have another great show planned for your viewing and listening pleasure. Today is Tax Day 2022. Have you done your taxes? Are you going to be delayed during your taxes? I just found out today that if you're due a refund, it could be quite a while before you get that refund. So we'll talk about that. And then April is Stress Awareness Month. So noted family medicine doctor, Dr. Janet Seabrook, president of Community HealthNet Health Centers of Northwest Indiana, will be here tonight to talk to us about combating stress and how it affects your overall health and well-being. If you're stressed out, your health is stressed out, and I'm a firm believer of that. And then as well tonight, we're going to meet the co-director of Congo Square Theatre's production of What to Send Up When It Goes Down, which is a really wonderful production, one of the most interactive plays I've attended in many years, and we're going to talk about it premiering on the South Side very soon. Sitting in the co-host chair is our girl, the one and only Miss Kay Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. Welcome back, my dear. Happy Monday, and how are you tonight?
I am truly blessed and highly favored, Chat Daddy, as I know you are, and so good evening to our listening audience. It is Monday. They say, I think there was a song saying when it snows in April. I think Prince said that.
Prince did that. He did. Yeah.
It was snowing again this morning in April. I couldn't believe it.
But I was talking to the mail lady earlier today, and she said, it's cold outside. I said, yes, yeah. I know. Like I had to turn on a little heat earlier today because I felt the chill. And again, here we are in April. But I just think it's Chicago. I just think it is what it is. And that's kind of what we are dealing with here in Chicago.
You're not kidding. And so how was your Easter? So happy Easter to everyone. But how was yours, Chat?
My Easter was great. I also want to extend a happy Easter, happy Ramadan, and happy Passover to all of our friends, families, and followers of the show. Easter was great yesterday. Easter is my cutoff point for soul food meals. So I'll make a really nice Easter meal, which I did yesterday. But as far as cooking heavy meals like that anymore, that was the cutoff point. From here on out, it'll be salads, soups, casseroles. It'll be easy, simple things. But yes, I did what I do best, cooked my you-know-what off, but it was a delicious meal and had fun. And then the Easter Bunny stopped by my house yesterday.
I saw that. So obviously you were good, because otherwise Easter Bunny would just pass over your house.
Yes, kind of literally pass over. Kind of like Santa Claus. Kind of like the Santa Claus thing. Yeah. But here's the funniest thing. The Easter Bunny didn't arrive until after all of my guests had eaten, had quite a few drinks, and were really having a great time. And then all of a sudden, the Easter Bunny appeared. And I think 3 people almost ran out of a window when they saw this big old tall bunny coming through the house yesterday. So, but we were very appreciative of the Easter Bunny stopping by yesterday evening to wish us a happy Easter. So it worked out well. So how was your Easter weekend?
It was quiet. I had get work done. We had our podcast Saturday. We did Hot Topics, and then yesterday, for me, holidays are just different.
Right.
Now that both of my parents are with me in spirit, they're just very different for me. I don't, I look at every day as a holiday, right?
Mm-hmm,
because, we're going to talk about who unfortunately is not with us now locally. But, the true meaning of Easter is Jesus had resurrected. So, hopefully this will be the opportunity for each one of us to resurrect our minds and resurrect our spirits with nothing but good things because we're still in the middle of spring and you gotta plant, go where you plant it, get that harvest ready for summer. So it was just quiet. And the funny thing, my godmother was concerned because when she calls, I usually pick up, and typically my phone, which I gotta get a new one, it went down to 2%.
Wow. So let me ask you this. When you said it went down to 2%, it wouldn't charge any higher than 2%? Or so like you're charging
down to, it went from 100% to 2% in less than an hour. So I knew if I used it like for next 5 or 10 minutes or so, it would have shut off. So I said, let me just shut the phone down, charge it up. I sent you a private message. Said, okay,
you did. Yes.
If Cat Daddy needs me, I don't want him to just call everybody and say, what's going on with K Renee? So my godmother had called and I didn't get the message. And so when she left me an interesting message on my voicemail,
like, girl, where's you at? Where
are you?
Yes, I know that. Right.
So I had to call her today and say, I'm good. Just had to, she said, don't do that. Get that phone update. I said, yes, ma'am. What you gonna say?
Right. Is everything good with your phone now? Do you need to
charging now? But I've never, since I've had this phone, never let it get down to 2%. And unfortunately, my phone is 4G. And for those who have Android as well as iPhones, a lot of the telecommunications companies are upgrading to 5G. If you don't get it, they're going to cut it off. So I need to stop at my carrier to upgrade my phone very soon. Before June. So Chat Daddy, just remind me, make sure Carrie, did you get a new phone? Because we can't.
Right.
So it's interesting. 20 years ago, we had most people had landlines and cell phones. Now it was pretty much everyone has a cell phone, and I need communication. If I don't have a cell phone, I'm SOL. So
yes, you are. Right. And that makes sense.
Keep me on point, chat. So just ask me ever often, did you get that new phone? So
yes. Okay. All right. Well, as you guys all know, we're a health and wellness show. And each and every evening that we're on the air, we talk about the latest COVID-19 numbers and the update on COVID-19. We stated to you guys last week on the show that they were not giving the daily numbers anymore, that they were kind of doing a weekly accumulative. But here's the deal. COVID numbers are rising tremendously, not only here in the state of Illinois, but across the country. Today, the city of Philadelphia put their mask mandate back in place. It officially started today. Quite a few people have tried to sue the city of Philadelphia for infringing on their rights. I saw where a judge down in Florida is saying that people do not have to wear masks on public transportation. Just so you know, if you're here in the state of Illinois, city of Chicago, all of our public transportation agencies said that they still want people to wear masks. I don't know what the airlines will do, but as we say on this show all the time, I will be wearing a mask until Juvember of 2025. Now, I know y'all saying, now when the hell is Juvember? We don't know when Juvember is either. We know it's somewhere between June and November or June and December and in 2025. So what we're trying to do on this show is convince our president, our governing bodies to add Juvember to the calendar once this damn pandemic is gone. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. But I just think wearing the mask is such a safety precaution and protection measure. When I'm in big groups of people that I don't know, I have my mask on. If it's around a group of people that I'm around every day and there's no problem, I don't wear my mask. But, when it comes to big groups of people, I am very leery and hesitant about being in crowds now. What do you think?
And I'm so used to wearing my mask. So, when I put my makeup on, and of course, when I take those selfies, I still look good. So, it doesn't bother me because I'm not getting sick crazy sick again. That's not gonna happen. So I am definitely with you. I'm wearing my mask to Juvember 2025. And when I read that article with the judge in Florida who was a Trumpster, if you know what I mean, I said, people don't really think, and you have to think ladies and gentlemen, for yourself. So do what you want. It's a free,
Right.
it's a free country, it's free will, but Kay Renee is wearing her mask until. Period.
Okay, so our favorite cousin, my cousin, Cynthia Howard Sims,
Hi,
said,
Dr.
yeah,
C.
Florida is tripping. She says airlines are making masks optional effective immediately. Wow. I know. I will not be going without a mask on an airplane if nothing else. You know what I'm saying? There are several situations where I will not be not wearing a mask. So we'll just put it like that. So as I said before, coronavirus cases are going down. No, hospitalizations are going down here in the state of Illinois. As of Monday, the state is now averaging 2,191 new cases of COVID per day. This represents an increase of 25% more than last week, with the average number of new daily cases rising from 1,753 on April 11. The week prior to that, we saw an increase of nearly 38% of people with new cases. And so I don't know what to say. You know, last month, Illinois cases had more than double, rising to more than 103% at the time. Hospitalizations remain steady in recent weeks. Currently, there are 511 hospital patients who have tested positive for the virus as of Monday. And these are people in the hospital. And 71 of those people are currently in intensive care. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, I do know a couple of people who have tested positive recently. I don't think people are as sick as they were before. And, you know, again, they're trying to relate this now to being something like a common cold or allergies or whatever the case may be. I just find it super weird, the number of people that died in the beginning of this, people that were so sick, did not know where they got it from. And now all of a sudden, it has weaned off. So here's my question. Has the vaccination had a lot to do with that? Or, I mean, I don't know. This is almost one of them Twilight Zone things when you really think about it, you know?
I couldn't agree with you more, because it seems like in the beginning, everybody was just nervous.
Right.
As you know what? And now people are just lax, and you just cannot be complacent with this virus. You can't. So I don't know what is going to take, you know, if there's going to be another onslaught, because think about it. We have not thankfully reached 1 million fatalities here in the United States, but it's coming.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, whether you know it or not. But yep, you're absolutely right. Because people are still dying from COVID. You know what I'm saying? Right.
They're not as public as it once was, but folks are still leaving here due to either COVID or complications from COVID.
That's right. Yes.
So, you know, we just have to be mindful. And then, of course, we talk about it all the time over on this show. There are folks who have had COVID brain who have gone bat-snit crazy because why is the increase of shootings, robberies, carjackings? What in the God's name is going on?
I'm with you 100%. You read my script verbatim of what I was getting ready to say next. This past weekend, Easter weekend, a weekend of peace, resurrection, all of that, there were 3 mass shootings in the United States, leaving 2 people dead. The one was in South Carolina at a nightclub on Sunday night, where at least 9 people were shot. The other one was at a shopping mall in South Carolina. Then there was a shooting in Pittsburgh at a party that was full of teens. 2 teens were killed at the party. Someone rented an Airbnb in Philadelphia, threw a party. And what's so sad is that people are always on their phones. They're always broadcasting. They're always whatever. And just to hear people screaming and running, and it's just a bit too much. I was talking to the people at my house yesterday, and most of them said they don't even watch the news anymore. And because of the work we're in and having to deliver stories, stories and inform people. I'm a news junkie. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't let it get to me. But it also makes me more aware of be careful of your surroundings, your circumstances, and your situations, you know?
And just be mindful and just and stay prayerful,
Right.
because unfortunately, you cannot let your guard down.
Mm-mm.
You can be professional, you
Right.
can be cordial, but don't let your guard down, because the
Absolutely.
moment you do.
Yep. Something could happen. And I agree with you 100% on that. That's why we've got to be very careful about how we do things. You know, people, oh, I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be all right. I have seen some wild things. Yesterday, my friend and I, we were out just going to get coffee. We were in a single line in the streets with everybody. Again, somebody coming from the right side. We were all sitting at the stoplight in one single line of cars. This person came up on the right side and made a left turn all the way from the right curb in front of everybody to go southbound on the street. And most people at that light, when it changed, had to make a split-second decision not to move forward. So, I mean, every time you go out in the streets, the saying should be grace and mercy, grace and mercy. Please help me get to my destination safely and get back from where I'm going, So I don't know. It's just weird. Really, it is.
And not only that, I shared with you last week in our audience, some shooting in front of my house. I said, God dog it.
Yep.
What in the heck is going on? And
do you know what it was a result of or why or anything?
Unfortunately, I don't. I do know the person who was shooting was just agitating whomever he was shooting at. You could hear his voice from my house. And of course, I'm indoors. He's across the street, right? Because, where I live, there's a park. So
right.
I was just, as I said, it was just so unsettling. I said, okay, we haven't hit summer yet.
No,
it has not been hot yet. And typically when it's hot, everybody like to be out in the streets, doing God knows what. So again, as we say on the show, you just have to be mindful, stay prayerful, and just be aware of your surroundings.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I was saddened to hear that one of my favorite restaurateurs passed away over the weekend. Please tell us about who I'm talking about. And I wish I had one of his lovely cocktails right now, but I'll have to wait till I'm off the air to have one of his lovely cocktails.
For those of you who live in the Chicago area, and particularly in the northern suburbs, there is a restaurant that everybody knows and truly loves. Bob Chin's Crab House in Wheeling, one of the best restaurants around, has always been ranked in the top 10, not just locally, y'all, nationwide. The owner of the restaurant, Bob Chin, passed away peacefully in his sleep at the age of 99.
Wow.
And let me tell you, I was sharing this with you. I shared with a few friends recently. I said, that was the perfect dating restaurant. Because, when people asked me to go out and, they lived in the northern suburbs and I used to work in the northern suburbs, they're like, well, let's meet at Bob Chin's restaurant. I said, absolutely. Because I love, he had, and I'm sure he does. And so we got to do a field trip, Art.
Yes.
You, me, and your boo, to go out to Bob Chin's and just have that cocktail and have the best seafood this side of the Midwest. Because he would have fish flown in from Hawaii as well as Alaska. And it was just one thing about Bob, and I had a chance to see him. I didn't get a chance to meet him.
Right.
But he was just a wonderful soul. He would just always go around the table, just introduce himself and talk to you. And so I know his family is saddened, but when you live to be 99, that's great. That's 99. Great.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That is great. He passed away peacefully in his sleep. And again, ladies and gents, the reality is this: when you come in this world, you come by yourself. When you leave here, you're going to leave by yourself. So while you're here, live your life with purpose. And so he did that. And
Yes.
so, even though we're sad, I can't wait, this spring and definitely summer for us to go out to Wheeling to go to his restaurant and get us some cocktails, get us some good food.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. His Mai Tais are incredible, and the food is delicious at Bob Chin. So our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone who works there, his family. The restaurant has been out in the Wheeling area for over 40 years.
Yes.
And, just an amazing place. I do. Bob Chin's is quite the experience. All right, what else do we have in news tonight, my dear?
Okay. Now, I don't know about y'all. I don't know about what your favorite cereal is, because mine is sugar corn pops. Now, of course, now that I'm older and wiser, I have my Special K with almond milk. I do have that.
Okay.
When I was a little girl, when I was a little K Renee had her sugar corn pops. What in the hell? What is up with this Lucky Charms? I guess it's not lucky. So what's up with that?
Well, I've never liked Lucky Charms. That was a cereal I probably have only had Lucky Charms 2 or 3 times. Why? What is going on with Lucky Charms?
Well, apparently the U.S. FDA, Food and Drug Administration, is investigating Lucky Charms cereal after dozens of customers complaining of being sick after eating it. Now, they've received over 100 complaints related to Lucky Charms. And when you report, because I know about the FDA, I had to make a report about one company. I will not name the company, but FDA don't play. When you file a report with FDA, they're going to investigate, trust and believe.
Yes. Right.
So apparently they don't know why it's causing this illness, but General Mills, who is the company that manufactures Lucky Charms, they got, as they say, Lucy got some explaining to do. They got some explaining to do.
Well, I'm just taking a wild guess here about why the Lucky Charms probably made everybody sick. It probably was a little leprechaun poop in the box as well, too. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? That little leprechaun on that box wears my ass out. He wears me out. So I'm thinking that maybe if people got sick from eating Lucky Charms, because I don't eat Lucky Charms, but that it could be a little leprechaun poop that might be in the box. That might be what it is, a little fecal matter, and that might be, right. So, I mean, I don't know, Scorpio said, me too, the marshmallow part is the best. See, I don't like it like that.
Apparently they may have some food poisoning because a lot of the customers complain of diarrhea, vomiting after eating it. I'm like,
girl, that leprechaun poop will do it to you every time. That I'm telling you.
Y'all better stick with I like Cheerios because Cheerios is made also by General Mills, but Lucky Charms are not that lucky, y'all. So y'all be careful out there, especially these kids. I love the commercial. Now, don't get me wrong. I do like the commercials, Lucky Charms, but I've never eaten Lucky Charms. Don't want to eat Lucky Charms. And after this report, probably will never, ever eat Lucky Charms.
All right. Well, girl, they magically delicious. They're magically delicious. Right.
They magically, you're right. They magically
They magically got a diuretic in them. So that's all y'all need to know. Yes. Okay. All right. What else we got tonight?
Now this story initially was not publicized until a certain video. But apparently, for those who remember Laquan Donald, who was shot 16 times, and the officer who shot him was in jail, got released. It seems like the feds are not going to even prosecute him, and I don't get that.
Mr. Jason Van Dyke, who was accused, who we saw him shoot Laquan McDonald 16 times, happened over on Pulaski here in Chicago.
And apparently, the U.S. attorney has announced the decision today that and this is a direct quote, saying its prosecutors would face a very high bar in securing a conviction against Van Dyke. And even if they were able to do so, whatever sins they might be would diminish the important results already achieved.
Wow.
What the hell is that about?
Yeah, and what is that about? You know what I'm saying?
I don't get that. And of course, the family has gone through so much.
Mm-hmm.
Since this tragedy when he was murdered and the way he was murdered.
Yeah.
But if the situation were reversed if Laquan McDonald was maybe Larry McDonald of a different race,
right.
and Van Dyke was Van Smith or something like that, who was African American, I'm
Yes.
not going to say anything else.
Yeah,
But
it would definitely be a different
straight.
outcome. Right. It would definitely be a different outcome. I don't know. You know, we have so many cases and situations that are happening now. I was watching the news over the weekend of more and more young men being shot and killed and you know, unarmed. There was a gentleman in South Bend, Indiana, who he should not have even been stopped at all. Police were questioning him. When he turned and walked away, they tasered him. His whole face looked like he had been drugged down the street by a team of horses. And then the, you know, cops gonna say, well, they found a gun on him anyway. Here's the deal. He wasn't even who you was looking for. He wasn't that right. That young man would have been going on about his business. You all stopped him and thought he was the one that you were looking for. So I don't know. It's just so sad. More and more of our young people seem to be in trouble, like their lives are in jeopardy. I was looking at, you know, most of these mall shootings are people in their early 20s, and it just makes you wonder, you know, did we go wrong as a society? And I'm not just talking about Black people. I'm talking about of a certain age demographic. You know, really, if we think about it, these would be our children or grandchildren at this point. And did we go wrong? Because we already had it rough when we were younger. So exactly. You see what I'm saying? So I don't, to me, it's almost like a perpetual cycle or a generational curse. I heard a story today of a young man that murdered somebody, and you know, just life is messed up now. So I don't know, you know, what can we do to rectify these situations?
I wish I was the genie, you know, if I dream a genie where you could just do this and blink,
right,
and everything
right,
would go okay, go away. We just have to. I really believe we have to really teach our children to really respect themselves, because if you wonder, if you notice, a lot of these young people who are doing what they do, they don't respect themselves, and it
right.
starts from home. You know, we may not have had a lot growing up, but the one thing that we did have, one, we had love from our parents, unconditional love.
That's right.
And discipline.
Yeah.
I mean, that's important. If you have those two components when you raise a family, those kids are going to make it, because it's going to teach them about the qualities that you need to have to be a part of this universe.
Right.
You know, respect, dignity.
Our friend Joseph
integrity.
in Cincinnati says it's frightening just to go to the gas station to fill up and get coffee. I couldn't agree more. Here's the deal. I do pretty much everything through a drive-through. I really do. My friend, he'll get out and go, you know, maybe go in someplace. But if it's just me, I'm looking for places where I can do a drive-through. If I go get gas, I go out of my way to get it somewhere else where I, you know, it's a little more people, situations where I'm not fearful. There's no way in hell I'd go to a community gas station to get any gas, even because the gas is high anyway. But I don't put myself in that predicament. Ever since this gas has gone up to the price it is, I don't let my car get below half a tank.
I don't blame you.
Right.
I don't blame you. I mean, when I rent a car, and of course, when I have to refuel, I make sure I refuel way away from my home, because you know, and then try to do it in the daytime, not at night. It's unfortunate that we have to be so cautious, but we have to be so cautious.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, let's get in another story or two before we welcome our first guest tonight.
You know, this season is wedding season. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I saw this story and I couldn't believe this couple was featured on Good Morning America, African American couple, very nice looking couple, I might add. But they were an average weddings now are close to 30,000. When I was married almost 25 years ago, I paid 8,500 exactly for my wedding.
Wow. Are you kidding me? And now the average wedding is
and 30,000. I had 250 guests for the reception. You know, I cut corners, if you will, but yes, the average wedding is almost 30,000, and they live in California, so you just increase that maybe like 10%. But she was able to spend, y'all, check the number out, $500
on having a wedding,
on her whole wedding.
Wow.
Here's what she did. A lot of her friends and family gifted services, which was cool. Her dress was $47. Now I'm gonna tell you this right now. She is a nice looking woman. Now
Right.
I am Rubenesque. Ain't no way in God's green earth I'm gonna find a dress for $47. This is not gonna happen.
Unless it's a big white moo-moo. Other than that,
I don't do moo-moos, okay?
Yeah, other than that, right.
It's not gonna happen.
Yes.
They had the wedding and the reception outdoors for free.
Right.
And check this out.
Now this part I have an issue with. So go ahead and tell them what. Right.
The guests pay for their food and drink. That's why she was able to spend $500. And I'm gonna tell you this. I do have a problem with that as well. Now, granted, she said, everybody understood the assignment, and they understood that, they wanted to support them. And I applaud their family for supporting them. But you and I both know Mr. Art Chat Daddy Sims.
Yes.
Ain't no way on God's green earth. If I got married again, I would tell my guests, guess what? You're going to have to pay $100 per person for this wedding. They were like, K. Renee, good luck and good riddance.
Right, because I'm thinking if people pay for their own food and drink, does that justify giving a wedding gift? And then keep in mind, remember, I know the couple that charged people who did not show up, people that RSVP'd, said that they were coming and did not show up, and they sent a bill to those people for the money they spent. So all of this is interesting to me. And then, my friend and I were having a conversation when I said, 30,000. My friend said, oh, yeah, that sounds about right. And I said, well, who you marrying? I said, because I'm not necessarily $30,000 is a lot. I mean, I probably could do it for a fraction of the cost. But if people are paying for their own food and drinks at a wedding reception, are we giving them a gift? That's my question. What do you think about that?
To me, that is the gift. Now, how about that?
Right.
Because if I have to pay for my food and drink, I would get you a card. And knowing me, you may get a little something like a gift card that will be denomination will be under 100, if you know what I'm saying. Because if I have to pay for my food and drink, and you expect me to give you a gift, that's a little bit, you're asking a bit much. Because again, we're in the genre where the bride typically, or the bride's parents, pay for the wedding. In my case, when I was married, that wasn't the case, because Mama Mason was like, because she had a problem with the groom, but that's another subject. But I paid for the wedding, and it was, again, $8,500, which wasn't bad in 1997. But would I do that again if I ever got married now? It would be a destination wedding. That's what I would do. If anybody would want to come, they're more than welcome to come. And I truly get the bride when she said, we're here to get married in the sight of God in front of these witnesses. We're not trying to get in debt. I applaud their rationale.
I couldn't agree more. Right.
But I just question that piece, whether or not you will want your guests to pay for, is that going to be a new trend now? Get married?
Well, I come from the old school of, look, Big Mama going to make a pan of wings. Aunt Mabel going to make some rib tips. Girl, I need you to make a big old pan of spaghetti. I mean, if you don't have that type of money, then you could do things like that. Get a pan of jerk chicken or whatever the case may be. But I couldn't imagine me telling my guests, you got to pay for your own food and drink at my wedding, and then want people to give you a gift. I mean, so that's spurred about, because that is just, I don't know. That's a little bit over the top. Well, for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Monday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Sitting in the co-host chair is our girl, Miss K. Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. We just love her. Tonight, we've been talking about a plethora of things that have been going on over the weekend and last week since we were on the air. And today is actually Tax Day 2022. Yeah. And for a lot of people, this is the most stressful day ever. If you owe the IRS, it's time for you to pony up that money. If you don't owe the IRS, you need to do that extension. Then they announced on the news tonight that if you are due a refund, the refund will not be coming right away. It could be months before you get that refund. So, and I know a lot of y'all was going to get a new weave, buy a new car, finally take the light bill out of your baby's name, whatever the case may be. Well, honey, you are not getting that money right away. So this has now put people in a very stressful situation. Notice my segue. April is National Stress Awareness Month, and our favorite doctor, as we call her here, our resident doctor on the show, she's here with us tonight to talk about stress and how it affects your body and your overall well-being. And I have questions for her about a bunch of different things because I was talking to somebody this past weekend about gout. And I'm wondering, is gout a result of stress and not eating right? Or, so we'll find out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Our favorite doctor, and we hope she's your favorite doctor as well, too. Noted family medicine practitioner, Dr. Janet Seabrook, president of Community HealthNet Health Centers of Northwest Indiana. Let's welcome her back to the show.
Yay!
Yay! Hey, Doc.
Hi, Dr. J.
Hi. It's so good to see you both.
It is good to see you. Looking gorgeous as always.
Thank you so much. You always make me feel so good. And all I did was put on a little lip gloss. That's it.
That's all right. That's all right, Doc. Look, you can wear lip gloss better than anybody. We appreciate you. How was your Easter, Doctor? Happy Easter and Resurrection weekend. How was everything this weekend?
So we had a nice weekend. Although it was a little chilly outside, we hosted an Easter egg hunt at one of our locations in Gary. And nice. It was a great turnout. We had almost 200 people there.
Wow.
And the kids found eggs. We gave away we had 3 golden eggs. And the person that found the golden eggs, we gave out iPads. So we gave out 3 iPads. We had Easter baskets for the kids. We had pre-filled eggs with all kind of goodies inside of them. There was face painting, a bouncy house. We had turkey, beef, and plant-based hot dogs. So I got a little plug in. My staff heard me, so they did bring some plant-based hot dogs. I ended up taking those home.
Okay. Oh, right. Everybody like, wait, ma'am, that's not a hot dog. That's not. You know what's so funny is that, when we were coming up with as kids, a hot dog was a hot dog. And then I remember probably in my teenage years, maybe college years, when they came out with the turkey hot dogs and everybody was trying to be so health conscious. And now we're talking about eating a plant-based hot dog. So that just goes to show you how much times have changed,
Yes, it has. But despite my plant-based hot dogs, everyone appeared to have a good time. And then Sunday was real quiet for me. I just went to church and then came back home and had a nice Sunday dinner with my husband.
Very nice. Well, Doctor, it's always a pleasure to have you back. April is Stress Awareness Month. Today is Tax Day. Just this weekend alone, there were 3 mass shootings across the United States. Kay Renee and I were talking about the number of carjackings. We even going to talk to you a little bit about COVID before the end of this interview. But let's talk about what is stress and what is stress doing to us, Doctor?
So I'm so glad that this is the topic for this evening. And like you said, April is National Stress Awareness Month. And so it's very important for people to know and understand that there are different types of stress. Not all stress is bad. Okay, so some good stressors are like you have maybe a deadline at work or a test that you're studying for, or an interview for a job, or something that you want, you desire. And so that amount of stress that you put on yourself to make sure that you do things the right way, that you say the right things in the interview, that you make sure that you're responding to the test questions, keeping that adrenaline going, and blood flowing to the brain. Those are good stressors.
Mm-hmm.
However, we do have stressors that are bad, and those stressors can cause us to have feelings of palpitations in our chest, almost feeling like we're having a heart attack. It also causes, if you're someone with a chronic disease such as hypertension or diabetes, it can make those conditions worse. It can cause your blood sugars to be highly unmanageable when you're in those high stress situations, and it can also cause your blood pressure to be elevated and make it much more difficult to control. You get that feeling when it's a bad stress, when things are out of your control, versus when you are in a stressful situation but you have control of the situation, such as taking a test.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that if you respond to the questions in the right way, that you'll have a positive response. But then those constant stressors that keep that adrenaline going, that keep your brain wired, that those are the stressors that have a tendency to have poorer outcomes on our chronic diseases. And even if you're someone who doesn't suffer with a chronic disease, it's not a good thing to be chronically stimulated by stressors in the environment.
Mm-hmm. I noticed a friend of mine had colitis, I think it is, which is the stomach and the bowel system.
Yes.
And my friend would always say when he got nervous and upset, it would trigger his colitis. I was just talking to somebody this past weekend about gout, and I for a long time, and I think we talked about this, Doc. I thought gout was from a bad diet. Is that stress related as well too?
So think about it. When you are stressed, how do you eat? Do you eat properly? Or
Right.
do you eat things that you probably should not eat, such as, maybe cakes, breads, pies, puddings, and things that are really high sugar content? Because
Mm-hmm.
what you have when you have gout is that your body can't process there is called uric acid. It can't break it down in the system and get rid of it and pass it through the urine. So those crystals build up in the joints, and for whatever reason, it likes the big toe. I mean, it can go to any joint in the body. I've had patients that have had gout in the knee and gout in the elbow, but for some reason or another, it likes the big toe. Smoked meats are something else that can cause gout to flare up. Internal meats like liver and things like that. Those are also things that can cause gout. But the stress, people who stress eat and have chronic medical conditions such as hypertension and diabetes and chronic kidney disease are more likely to have gout or suffer with gout and have their blood pressure and their blood sugar out of control when their gout is also flaring up. So that is a part. Gout necessarily won't start because of stress, but if you stress eat, you can have a gout flare up if you're someone that's susceptible to gout.
Wow. What are some things that we can do, Doc, to kind of reduce our levels of stress? I know you're very good at teaching us to eat healthy and do things like that. Again, we're living in a time now where just every time you turn on the news, it's something just over the top stressful. I was looking at where a couple had taken a ride share home and the kid was sleeping in the car and the driver pulled off with their child in the car. So what can we do to help alleviate some of the stress in our life?
I think that, one of the things that you just said is eating healthy, exercising, knowing that you are going to be faced with some stresses. Try to get enough sleep, drink water. And, I pretty much say the same thing over and over again when it comes to water and to getting enough sleep. And people don't realize that reducing sleep overall takes time off of your life at the end, toward the end of your life. So sleep is very important. If you can increase the amount of water that you take, but look at the amount of soda and sugary drinks that you're taking in, as well as alcoholic beverages. And if you're someone that drinks coffee, you might want to look at, maybe looking at half and half, decaf and a little bit of caffeine. There are some people that drink those very high caffeinated drinks with all kind of things to get their to get them revved up, so to speak. And those energy drinks is what they are. They are not good. And so I would advise people to, if you are someone that indulges, and most people that indulge in those energy drinks drink too much of those energy drinks. So I would recommend that they reduce the amount that they're taking in, if they are, and if you can stop, because it's not really good. I when I worked in the emergency room, I can't tell you the number of teenagers that came in, and they just drank energy drinks throughout the day, and then they would come into the emergency room flushed. They didn't know why their chest was hurting, why they felt like they were breathing so rapidly, and these were all the effects of those energy drinks. And those also put stressors on the body, because it's basically adrenaline. So you're asking the heart to beat really quickly. And so those things are not good. They're particularly not good for our youngsters. They should not be drinking those things.
Wow.
So let me give you a few signs of when you are stressed. So you can feel aches and pains that aren't normal to your arthritis, or maybe you hurt your hand, or your foot has been hurted. So you can have aches and pains when you're having a stress attack, or some people think that they're having a panic attack. Right. You can have chest pains, or feeling like your heart is racing, which most of the time it is, that you're exhausted, you're going to have trouble sleeping. And so there are many things. You can have headaches, feel dizzy. Actually, too much of those drinks can also cause tremors. But when you're having a stress attack or a panic attack, you're not sure what's causing it. And so we need to have people really think about some of the things that they're doing. When you're stressed out, sometimes you're clenching your jaw and you don't even know that you're clenching your jaw. You have people that end up with the TMJ because they're biting down so much, and they're eroding their teeth because they're clamping down at night when they are able to sleep. Constant muscle tension and tension headaches because you're just so tense all the time when you're stressed out.
Lord, she done named everything I'm suffering from right now. Fix it, Jesus. Please, K. Renee, take over. She just done named everything I'm suffering from. Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
Well, you know, the one, I know there's one thing that relieves my stress besides taking hot showers, which kind of, you can relieve, but being a single woman, and there are people who are married and they can take care of that. But for me, I use a different method to relieve stress, and trust and believe it does the job.
I think that's healthy. That's a healthy.
And I think you know what I'm talking about, Dr. Janet. Huh?
No, I said people need to understand that that's a healthy outlet.
Yes,
I'd rather people figure out the way to take care of themselves than to push themselves off on someone who may be younger, or someone who doesn't have the capacity to really make those decisions.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. So that's my stress reliever, and I use it very well.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
But you see how we had that discussion. It's a healthy discussion to have. And I believe that the adults that are listening in understand what K. Renee is referring to. And you can have that conversation with your physician. You should have that conversation with your physician. I think that more people need to have those conversations when they are checking in with their healthcare provider, so that they can get that confirmation that is a healthy way to reduce and relieve stress.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Wow. All right. Well, anything else as far as stress, Dr. Janet? And then we want to talk a little bit about the latest COVID-19 update. As I said before, cases are rising across the United States, but yet we're dropping mask mandates. So I'll let you finish out on stress. And if you're done, then we can go into COVID.
Well, I actually can tie the two together, because what you're going to have are people like me who still want to wear my mask. I'm going to be stressed out I was stressed out the other day at the grocery store. I saw more people without a mask than with a mask. And I was very stressed out and I was racing to get through the store.
Right. Right.
I just, I So
Right.
I think that we're entering into, we went from one stressful situation to worrying about COVID, and the vaccines came, and masking, the physical distancing, hand washing, hygiene, pure air purification. We went through all of that. Okay, we come up with one stress and then we figure out how to reduce the stress a little bit. And now here we, turned around and said, well, if you're going on public transportation, you don't have to wear a mask. Now, that is really freaking me out. And my plan is to not remove my mask. I'll keep it on in the airport, and I will definitely keep it on the plane.
Me too.
I think that we need to find other ways, sometimes just simple, you don't have to go to a counselor, but sometimes you can just talk to someone that has a listening ear. There are a lot of those apps on the phone that you can find a counselor to talk with and talk through a stressful situation or an event. And I would recommend that if you're able, that go and have a massage or maybe a facial.
Yes.
If you're, someone that likes sports, maybe you can go to the gym, pick up basketball game, volleyball, what have you. But those things that help you reduce and relieve your stress, I would advise that people do those and try to make sure that you're doing the things for you that you feel will keep you and your family safe. And if that's wearing a mask, by all means, please continue to wear it.
Right. I couldn't agree more. Okay, Renee, anything else you want to talk to Dr. Seabrook about now that we all know how you relieve stress? Right. So yes, what else you want to talk to her before we have to let her go?
I love me some Dr. Janet. First, Dr. Janet, I was so happy to see you locally. You were reporting on an event. I was like, that's my doctor on Channel 7. I was like, yay. So I'm just continuously proud of you doing, you continue to do the damn thing. And I just personally, as a Black woman to another Black woman, just keep doing what you do, because what you have done and continue to, it helps and it saves lives, Dr. Janet. So I just love you to life. And I cannot wait to physically meet you and just to give you, that wonderful hug and just to let you know how loved you are and how important your work is to our community. So
thank you, Kay Renee. You're trying to make me cry, and I'll have
I'll
raccoon eyes.
I don't want to do that.
Look, Kay Renee, after I saw her on Channel 7, I sent a note to her publicist and I said, well, look, if she's not too big now,
Right.
Will she still be able to do our show? We do consider her our resident doctor on this show.
Right.
Because look, Dr. Janet, you looked amazing. You spoke well. And really, I'm with Kay Renee to see a Black woman in the position of being so concerned about all mankind. It really is a beautiful gesture. It really was. And you did a great job on the news. You really did.
Well, thank you both so much. I was actually surprised when it showed up because there were so many other people there that the reporter spoke to as well. So I did not believe that my clip would end up being the clip that would be shown. But it was a great event. Hopefully we'll be able to have it next year. We were just one of the participants and sponsors. It was held at Indiana University Northwest, over 66 vendors, and just a lot of information about what's available in our surrounding community for men and young boys, the information that they need to better take care of themselves financially, independently, and for their health. And so it was great.
Real quick before we let you go, somebody just sent me a message, doctor, saying the difference between allergies, COVID right now. You know what I'm saying? Like allergies, I guess, are really up right now for a lot of people. How do you know it's allergies versus it might be something else?
And this is a great question. And this is why it's so important to have that home test kit, because that will give you a definitive idea if you are positive for COVID. And so I would advise the person, because right now we do have a mix. In the fall, is this flu or is this COVID? That's what we have to determine in the fall. In the spring, are these my allergies? Is this my normal sore, scratchy throat because of my allergies? Is this heavy breathing or wheezing or runny eyes? Is this because of my allergies or is this COVID? And so it's very important for you to have the at-home testing, and because it's free. You can also find a fairly qualified health center in your area, because if the other places are charging, community health centers are not charging. Those test kits were given to us for free, and we're supposed to give them out to anyone who requests them. So we have community health centers across the United States, not just Community HealthNet. We still have the ability to test people and to give them their test results. But now we also have the ability to give them a box to take home. So when you wake up and you're not feeling well, see if you have COVID first, then leave the house.
Okay.
You know, that's funny you mentioned that, Dr. Janet, because, you know, I was sick for 2 weeks and I was telling Art, I said, Lord, and thankfully I took the at-home test both, and thankfully it wasn't COVID. But, you know, it was interesting. In my case, I had coughing, severe cough. Then I had what I thought was a sinus headache, and I couldn't even get up. I had to lay down. Then the second week, I had the runny nose. I had fever. I had just sneezing. So I'm like, what in the heck is going on? I thought, well, maybe I just have the flu, because I'm not, you know, thankfully I don't have allergies, but it was painful. I tell you.
What we are discovering is that our flu season is starting to run longer. Usually, you know, October to like February, and what we're finding out that now our flu season is running into April, so you may very well have had flu. And so what we do in the fall is, if you would come into the office like that, then we test you for influenza. If it was influenza,
really?
then we test you for COVID.
Okay.
And then we'll be able to give you a disposition. And if it's not either one of those, then it's either allergies, which you wouldn't expect in October, or just a viral illness.
Okay. All right. Very good. Dr. Seabrook, I see where you are having the annual breast cancer 5K. And then let's close out with whatever it is that you want us to know, how to find you, follow you, all that great stuff.
So what you can do if you want to know more information about the annual breast cancer walk, which will be held in September, the last Saturday in September, at the Marquette Park. And that's along the shores of Lake Michigan on the Gary side. And you can go to our website, chn-indiana.org, to find out more information about any and all of the events that we're having this year at Community HealthNet. You can also go to my Facebook page, Community HealthNet's Facebook page. We have about 5 or 6 Facebook pages. I can't even keep up anymore. We're also on Twitter and LinkedIn, and that's how I see Miss K. Renee all the time when she puts out information about what's going on.
Yeah. Yes. Well, Doctor, thank you so very much. We look forward to talking to you again next month. You do keep us healthy, alive, and aware about what is going on around us health-wise. K. Renee, what do you want to say to the doctor before we say goodbye to her tonight?
Well, first, you know, I love you dearly, Dr. Janet. If there's anything that you need me to do, you just let me know. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm looking forward to seeing you on all the local networks, 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, all of them.
Yes. She did an excellent job. She really did. Doctor, we love and appreciate you so much. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to hang out with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for who we consider our resident doctor here on the show. Even though she's on other networks and things, we appreciate her hanging out with us, her family. Dr. Janet Seabrook, noted family medicine practitioner. She's the president of Community HealthNet Health Centers of Northwest Indiana. Doc, have a beautiful evening. We love and appreciate you so much, okay?
Thank you so much.
See you later, doctor. We love you.
Love you too.
All right. Bye-bye. Yay. We just love Dr. Janet. Isn't she amazing?
She is off the chain.
She is. She is just a darling. And just the information she shares with us and how she wants us all to stay healthy and all of that. Very good. I see we got some player haters on the line tonight. Let me block these little player haters, girl. You know I had to get them. You know I had to get them now.
Oh Lord,
I had to get them right. They get on here wanting to talk all this mess. I don't come on your show talking mess. Don't come on mine.
On our show talking
right, honey. We don't allow that on this show. So I have to block their little comments. Ignorant. You just mad because we got a good show, and you just mad. That's all.
What do our older parents say? God bless his little heart.
Bless their little hearts, right? Bless their little hearts. And I notice it's a lot of white folks is doing that. So y'all need to sit down somewhere. Speaking of that, our next guest this evening, I had a chance a couple of weeks ago I'm trying to figure out, I had just gotten back from someplace. My good friend, Miss Bonnie DeShong, and she picked me up. We went to see this play, and even though I had been invited, they had sent me the press materials. Bonnie kind of took me with her. I didn't know what to expect. And Kay Renee, when they come here to the South Side, I really do want to take you as well as my friend to see it because it's the most interactive production I'd ever been in my life. Oh, I know what it was. I had worked earlier that day and we went. And I was like, girl, I'm just gonna sit here and chill out and watch the play. Baby, we was up and a part of the production and enjoying ourselves. Okay, so whoever Hector is, your mama is a hoe. How about that, Hector?
No,
okay, no. How about that, Hector? Yeah, I am. Girl, I'm not playing with these people on here. Yeah, your mama's a hoe, Hector. How about that? And she liked me. Okay. Yeah, I got to block all these people tonight. So I'm sorry. I digress. Yeah, these people on here cussing us out and all of that. So we have a wonderful guest who is joining us. He's a first-time guest on the show. So the production that I went to see was What to Send Up When It Goes Down. And when I say to you, not only the atmosphere where they had it at, talking about weddings, I definitely would want to have my wedding in this space. The ambiance, just the creative force of the people who are a part of it, it just was interesting. So to talk to us tonight is one of the co-directors of the production, Mr. Daniel J. Bryant of Congo Square Theatre. And I want to applaud Congo Square. This really is something that I see continuing on because it speaks volume. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the show, Mr. Daniel J. Bryant. Hey, sir. Good evening.
Hey, no player haters. Bless their hearts.
That's right. That's right. Good evening. Welcome to the show. And how are you tonight? How was your Easter weekend?
It was my weekends are always blessed, but as artists, you know, the weekends blend into the weeks and all of that. So I had a pleasurable one. How about y'all?
We did. It was good. It was, you know, the normal eating and Easter egg hunting and love and happiness with family, but it was really good.
I love it.
Yes. So listen, the production is amazing. I see nothing but a bright future for the production. It was, again, I had been to another event, kind of came. I was like, okay, I'm going to chill, relax, just kind of get into it. And when I say to you, I was blown away. Please explain the production and let's get into this conversation.
Ooh, that's a difficult one. I don't want to give it away.
Right.
About to transfer to the South Side. Thank you for having me tonight, both of you. I can't, let me put on my glasses so I can read names. How about that?
You got Kay Renee and Chat Daddy.
Okay, Renee. Okay, yeah, you know, introductions. Okay, I know Chat. Okay, thank y'all. Thank you. Hey, y'all.
Hey,
hi, Daniel.
So it's a piece that came across my path about 5 years ago here in New York. I'm in Harlem. I was there in Chicago for 16 years and left probably about 7 years ago, something like that. Anyway, that's the first time that I came across this piece. It was created out of a response of the murder of Trayvon Martin and the countless hashtagged names that we have lost before then and since then. And so the playwright, Aleshea Harris, was motivated And that's funny. I used that word, motivated to create a piece, and joined the Movement Theater Company here in New York. And that's where the piece was born out of. She describes it, Aleshea describes it as a theatrical, ritual, homegoing celebration.
Mm.
And it is all of those things. It is, as we know, we just lost another person in the mainstream news last week in Michigan, brother
Yes, it
murdered.
was. Yep.
We're
Yep.
still, it's a pandemic. It's happening everywhere, and this piece gives us an opportunity as Black folk to come together and actually mourn and celebrate the value of all these people's lives that we don't get a chance to do. We
Mhm.
definitely don't come together as community with that sole purpose to come and value, lift up those names and speak their names literally into space. And that's what this theatrical piece does. And we felt, when it came across my path 5 years ago, we thought we were going to do it, and then the pandemic happened. Congo
Mm-hmm.
Square, you
Right.
know, and but we've held on to it ever since, because we knew it was important for Chicago to do this, and to have this work be in our communities and create ritual healing space for our folk, our Chicagoland folk.
Mm-hmm.
I know that
Mm-hmm.
was a bit long-winded, but
No,
No.
no, it makes good sense. One of the things that I wanted to find out about the production, what it was so ingenious that it was so interactive. Who decided to make it an interactive piece?
well, that's Alicia Harris. She designed the piece to do that, and every company has the freedom and to kind of deviate, or adjust things as they so fit. But that whole process, and I don't want to give it too much away, but the process, the workshop portion, where there is definite audience participation, there is some form of that happens with. I've seen the production done, I think, 3 times, and it's a little different each time. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and so this is Congo Square's uh, uh, twist on the ritual space, an offering that we are bringing to Chicago.
Wow. Okay, Renee, do you have anything for our producer that you want to ask our co-producer?
Well, first, congrats, Daniel. And what made you get into this creative space? Because it's funny. I have not been to New York in a long time, and I know you refer to Harlem as the Eagle's Nest. So I can't wait to go back to Harlem. But what prompted you to get into this line of work? I know you've been doing it for a very long time. So
Yeah, you mean theater, the
yeah,
business in general? Oh, ever since I was a kid,
okay.
yeah, I knew was without question what it was I was going to do. I think mom took me to a show, and it was an audience participation thing. They grabbed this
Mm,
little boy from the audience, and I was probably cheesing, and they grabbed me up and pulled me up on that audience, and I was just blown away at, there was a crew of people, just a mass, and there was dancing and everything, but how they could affect the audience and make the audience feel things. And I was like, man, I got the bug ever since then. And so,
wow.
yeah, so I have a degree in broadcast journalism and a minor in theater, and have never had to use the major degree, knock on wood.
Wow, very
That's why,
good.
yeah, living my life as an artist. It ain't easy, but I
Right.
couldn't see it any other way.
Wow,
So,
that's so
so that's a
incredible.
long-winded. Yeah, that I've been doing it. I started off as an actor, but studied mostly directing in theater. I'm sorry, in college, and then came to Chicago as a young actor, and then left out to Los Angeles and came back to Chicago, and that's when I got connected with. Prior to that, I was involved with Chicago Theater Company and Onyx Theater Company. They were Black theater companies there, and I had worked at all the other theaters as an actor. But I got in touch with Congo when I moved back to Chicago the second time coming back. And I thought I was just going to just pop into Chicago, say hey to some peeps, and then move to New York then.
Right.
But I got sidetracked by this company called Congo Square and the work that they were doing and we are continuing to do, celebrating our 20th. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Congratulations. I've been a
Yeah.
big supporter of Congo for many years. And
We appreciate you.
yeah, I can't believe it's been 20 years already.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look, somebody getting old. Somebody getting old. Wow, it's been 20 years.
We aging like a fine wine. That's what we doing.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Right. We really do. So you guys started off at the West Side location, which I thought over there was just the most beautiful, breathtaking space ever. But now you're coming to the South Side to another phenomenal space. So let's talk about when that will happen and how we can get people connected in all of this.
Okay, well, I don't know the exact dates, but we're going to.
Yeah, I'll pull them up.
We started off at the Gray Gallery, Paul Gray Gallery on the West Side, and then we are moving as of this Thursday. We'll be at the Arts Bank, Stony Island Arts Bank building, a Theaster Gates establishment there on the South Side, and we're there, and we just got extended. I just got an email. I think we're going to the 5th of May now.
Yes.
That. Do I have that right?
Yes, absolutely.
I got that right.
The Stony Island Art Bank starts April 21st, and it actually goes through May 5th. And so, wait, what's today? The 18th? Oh, you're right. So starting this week. Yes, very good. Not to give it away, but I think my favorite part of all of it is when certain people were asked to leave after a while. And I turned to my the person I was with, Bonnie DeShong, a legendary radio, and I said, girl, I'm tired. I almost got up with them. I said, look, oh Lord. And look, and they ran when they got up. So the ingenious development of how the evening goes is just incredible. It reminds me of almost like going to one of those murder mystery theater pieces, or, you just don't know what's coming next. And again, I have to applaud the entire cast of the production.
Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We're glad we could bring it to Chicago. And unfortunately, given the subject matter, we wish there wasn't a need for it, Because that means that we wouldn't be taken away, murdered by all this craziness. But hopefully this piece gives us an opportunity to come together as community and realize that despite the racism, we as Black people are still thriving. In spite of, we still have each other. We're not doing it alone. And that hopefully, Chat Daddy, on the other side of it, even though it was an interesting ride for you, we ended on a celebratory note.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. That's the whole point of celebrating life and finding our strength as Black people to come together in spite of.
Okay, Renee, go in with your ever famous question for all of our guests, and let's see what answer he gives us.
Well, thank you, Chad. Well, besides the arts, who inspires you, Daniel, to be the best Daniel J. Bryant this universe has ever seen?
Oh, wow. That's a huge question.
That's our $1 million question on this show.
Okay. You said who or what?
Who?
Oh, it's got to be a person. There's so many. There's so many. But the one that just keeps popping up is the person who took me to my first piece, which is my mother. She, regardless, at times when people were like, what the hell do you want to do? She never once talked me out of it. She never once said anything contrary to, you can do this. Even at moments when I felt like, because the artist road is not a straight and narrow, you gotta, it ebbs and flows, baby. And there are times where you as artists, you wonder if you're on your path. She never once doubted it. She believed when I didn't. And so I'm still doing this, and I'm grateful to her, because without that beginning and continued support, yeah. So yeah, from her branches so many other folks, but I would have to say that.
Very
Thank
good.
you for
You
that
you
question.
answered that question the way most people answer that question on this show. When you
Okay.
really think back about who inspired you, who was the source of inspiration, who did not let you fail, but let you continue to move forward, that is the answer. Wouldn't you agree, Kay Renee?
Absolutely.
Well,
And
I'm
I'm
so
sure
glad I
she's,
didn't break that trend.
oh no. Oh no. It is never a wrong answer, Daniel. It's always a
Yeah.
very intriguing answer.
Oh yeah. I kept thinking about it, but it all just kept going straight back to my mother. Absolutely.
Wow.
Thank you.
Daniel, you remind me, and I'm sure Kay Renee might say this as well, of a good friend of ours here on the show, and he's with us all the time, Damone Seraphin. Do you know
Yes.
Oh
Damone?
yeah, actor, singer, yes, yes.
He's a
Preacher now
very,
too, doesn't he? Doesn't he
yes,
preach too?
yes, he
Yes.
does. Bishop Damone Seraphin. The thing is
Yes.
that he's been a co-host here on the show many times. We have been friends for a million years, and it's just ironic that you kind of the smile, the energy, all of that. And so I said, I know they would have to know each other, and
Yeah.
that's why I brought that up. But yeah, he's been on the show with us several times. We've had some amazing conversations here on the show. And I think right now he's in the middle of working on a production. But yeah, during the pandemic, he was one of our regular co-hosts and guests here on the show.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
And I
So
see you got a whole channel too. I looked you up. I was like, oh, go ahead, Chat Daddy. I
thank
see
you.
you. I was
Thank
like,
you.
you had just episode upon episode. I see you.
Mhm. Well, this was all created during the pandemic. We were all stuck at home. My fan base and followers, wanted to keep up. We were all isolated. I talked to my good buddy, Miss Kay Renee, and other people, and I was like, look, get a camera, get a ring light, and let's make this happen. And it started growing so much and people watching and appreciating us. We just kept doing it every night. And here we are almost 2 years later of doing this and getting just incredible guests like yourself. We've had Oba Babintunde. We've had Anne Marie Johnson. We've had Rhonda Ross, Diana Ross's oldest daughter. So people have just been responding and wanting to be on the show. And we really are appreciative of people wanting to do this. And who knew that we could do this from our homes on the south side of Chicago?
Come on now. Come on now. Anything is possible. Going back to that question you offered up, that
That's
seed,
right.
anything is possible. Look what you've manifested. Look at here.
Yes, yes. Well, Daniel, let's get everybody to come out. I highly encourage everybody to please go see this wonderful production. In order for you guys to get tickets, please go to congosquaretheater.org / what to send up. What is there an age that you would recommend to play for, or is it something? What? Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think? I mean, it's not toddlers. I think
No.
teenager and above.
Yes. A young adult, a teenager, definitely people of all walks of life. You really need to see this. If you have been affected by anything from George Floyd to you just name it, like we talked about Laquan McDonald earlier on the show tonight, this is something that you guys really do need to see. And Kay Renee, we're gonna make a date of it. I promise you that. And there are only so many people per audience, which makes it even better.
It's a small. We intentionally made it a small audience. Yeah. Just because during the pandemic, we'll pray that it's over. Although there are trends coming back, but we wanted to keep a small audience so that people could not feel overly crowded. And it's a ritual space, so we wanted to give their space for that.
So I encourage you guys to please get your tickets. Limited number of people get to go per each performance. They've extended it now to May 5th. The night I went, there was a matinee show and an evening show. The cast is just incredible. And just all I can say is you're going to be immersed in the show. That's the best way to put that. You, the audience member, is going to be a part of this incredible show. Really. Okay, Renee, we got a date. We're going to go make this happen.
Gonna make it happen, Captain.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Daniel, in closing, what do you want to say to everybody before we let you go tonight?
Well, please support your culturally specific Black theater organizations like Congo Square. Now more than ever, we need the support, because as we know, as we negotiate these cray times as Black and brown people, that it can feel like we are coming under attack. But there's an opportunity for us to come together and support each other individually and through supporting our artistic homes and spaces. So please come out, enjoy, be healed, hopefully, and celebrate the lives of our Black brothers and sisters that we've lost.
Wow, that was very well said. Wasn't that beautiful?
Amen.
Yes.
Ashe.
Absolutely, brother. CongoSquareTheater.org, ladies and gentlemen, / what to send up. It'll be on the south side on Stony Island at the Art Center. And make sure you guys, please, Theaster Gates has a wonderful place. If you guys have not been there yet, you are truly in for a treat. I tell people it's a mixture between Alice in Wonderland, your favorite library. It's just an eclectic space. Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful space on the south side of Chicago. So please go out and support. I plan on going back again, just to take some people to see it and to be a part of it. And you guys will really love it. Anytime you need to come back, sir, let us know. You got to open it.
I appreciate you having me, man. I appreciate it. And nice to meet you too. Appreciate you as well.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Daniel.
Yes. And much success to you all on the show.
Thank you, Daniel. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you very soon. Ashe. Thank you so much. All right. Have a wonderful night. Yay! Give it up for Daniel J. Bryant, you guys. Yay! See you later. Oh, that was incredible. Wasn't he wonderful? He was great. He
was so humble.
Yes.
Just very humble. And I like that.
Look, I had to put all them player haters off here tonight. We have never had them kind of comments, lewd and just horrible comments. I don't get it.
But guess what that means? That means we're doing something right. How about that?
Yes, we are. I just think that's horrible. I had to block at least 12 people tonight, and we've never had that to happen on this show. Absolutely. So for all you player haters, move on. Move on. This is not for you. This is for us to inform, love, uplift. We're not about hating on this show. And I meant what I said to whoever put that comment up there. Yeah, your mama is a, yep. Okay. Can we get that nugget of knowledge?
Yes,
so from Thanksgiving food to Easter food. Right. We need
we need a nugget now. So this is motivational. This
look,
is motivational, but that's right. You need a true woo style. So I'm about to give it to you in the audience. And it talks about inspiration. Remember, inspiration comes from within yourself. One has to be positive. When you're positive, good things happen. Again, it's Motivational Monday. # you are your own inspiration.
Yes, I love that. I really do. For more information, go to karensnuggetsofknowledge.com, karensnuggetsofknowledge.com. That's where you can find out more information about her. Tomorrow night, we're going to have some fun. It's Tuesday night. I was having a conversation the other day, K. Renee, and it was a group of people of various ages. And I was telling a young lady, I said, sweetie, when we were growing up, we didn't have chicken tenders. And she said, what? She said, what? I said, sweetheart, when we were little kids, we didn't eat chicken tenders. It was the leg, the thigh, the breast, the wing. She was like, all I eat is chicken tenders. I was like, baby, that's something new. This was not something. So tomorrow night, I want us to have a conversation about then and now and just think, you know, we were telling her that like McDonald's was a treat when we were children.
That's true.
You didn't go to McDonald's all day, every day. McDonald's was a treat. The same way with Kentucky Fried Chicken. That was a special.
And Dairy Queen, any of the fast food, that was truly a treat.
Yes, yes. Look, I tell people we only had KFC if it was a special occasion or if somebody died and people brought a bucket of chicken.
That's right.
So tomorrow night, we're going to go back down memory lane and we're going to talk about then versus now. You ready for that?
I'm ready.
All right. All right. Well, on behalf of Kay Renee and yours truly, Chat Daddy, we want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. Besides the haters that were on here tonight, we want to thank our amazing audience who's here with us each and every night. Thank you so much to Joseph. Thank you to Scorpio Love. Thank you to Dr. Sims. Thank you to Community HealthNet. Dr. Janice Seabrook. Let's see who else was on here with us tonight. Candace, we appreciate you. Wamelda, we appreciate all you guys. Absolutely. Thank you so very much. And coming up Wednesday night, which will be 420 Day, which stands for marijuana, we're going to have a very wonderful conversation about marijuana on Wednesday night. So make sure you guys join us to talk about Mary Jane. Mary Jane, Mary Jane. I'm in love with Mary Jane. She's my main thing. She makes me feel all right. She makes me all thing. Yes. On behalf of Kay Renee and yours truly, we thank you so very much for joining us. For more information about me, please visit therealchatdaddy.com. You got it right, baby. I got you sitting in the right spot. Therealchatdaddy.com. Thank you to all of our guests tonight, Dr. Janet Seabrook and Mr. Daniel J. Bryan. Please, you guys, go out and see that play when it comes to the South Side of Chicago. Really moving in so many ways. Just, it really is, without giving the production up. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7. Be well. Make love your number one thing. Hatred is something you can do all the time, and it's horrible. Make love the key to how you're going to live in this particular world. Okay. We love you guys. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you later. Okay, Renee, we love you. See you guys. Bye. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show.